All right, everybody, welcome back. This is our second webcast. Today with me is Matt Miles, who is back from his trip to New York, and we've got Rudy Cortez. One of the things we've been asked a lot about this since the last episode was how can we buy and what's the time frame with which people can buy property coins. So for all the information is available on our website, proprietary, and that process is pretty straightforward. If you go to buy PCX, there's a button at the top, and I believe it's somewhere down the middle of the page as well. You'll be asked to enter some information about yourself, about your investment purposes, and give some personal information about you so that we can verify your identity. And then from there, you will be whitelisted. So right now, we are in a private sale through the month of March and April. The public sale begins May 1st. And we will be going through the end of May for the public sale. If there's anybody interested in large dollar volumes or really interested in buying right now, please reach out to us at info@proprietary.
Yeah, I just want to mention one thing. During our private sale period, month of March, there's going to be a 20% discount applicable to any purchases that occur during the month of March. There's also a 10% discount applicable for any purchases during the month of April, and I believe the first week or 10 days of May as well.
So go to the website, check it out, proprietary. As always, there's lots of information on our Telegram channel and Instagram and Twitter pages as well, and Facebook too. So if there's any questions or people need an answer, we're always checking those channels for updates, and somebody's always available to answer your questions. Matt, perhaps it's best if you want to talk a little bit about what's kind of happened over the last few weeks. You were gone last week in New York meeting with some investors. Maybe give us a little update on what's going on and some of the developments that have happened from your trips.
Yeah, sure. So a lot of exciting things going on. Obviously, we kicked off the private sale, which we're excited about, and having a lot of good conversations. I've been on recent trips to Las Vegas and New York, meeting with potential partners and investors. One of those trips is very interesting, is a structured finance conference that happens annually in Vegas, and there's quite a good reception to what we're doing. People are really interested in the project and see it as very innovative. So we're happy to have that level of support and interest. Coming up pretty soon, we expect to be able to announce some key partnerships that we've been working on. We're also going to publish our first investor report. So what does that mean? What are we talking about there? So what we're going to publish on a monthly basis is a report illustrating all the assets owned by the Property Coin community. How many houses have we bought? How many loans have we bought? Profits related to that activity, cash and coins that are owned within the community. So we're going to publish that on a monthly basis. So the next one should be coming out very shortly. Super excited to announce our Genesis house. It was the first house we bought for Property Coin. It's a house in Dallas. Rudy, you might want to elaborate, but really nice looking house, or will be a really nice looking house when we're done with it. But it's a brick house, 4-bedroom, 2-bath on a cul-de-sac. Rudy, you want to talk a little bit more about that property?
Sure. Yeah, it's an exciting property we bought in Dallas. Property needs a significant amount of work. It's in a nice cul-de-sac, nice sized yard, a great neighborhood. We've actually already started on it. We're about probably 30 to 40% complete through construction, and we're excited to bring it back onto the market here soon. So we should see it in the next few weeks or so, and we're excited for it to be our first property.
So actually, it's pretty, I just want to mention this particular house happened to be vandalized and boarded up windows. But that's fine with us because, one of our key missions here is, buying houses that we think are a good investment to make, while simultaneously, that work improves communities and, creates jobs and creates affordable housing for the communities that we operate in. So this is kind of a really good example of that at work.
And the other thing too is, Dallas is just the first house that we bought for Property Coin, but we are, our footprint is across 10 or 11 different cities and statistical areas across the country. They're called MSAs, but we're actively buying more and more properties in those areas. Just to name a few, we're probably going to have a few Property Coin houses soon in Charlotte, Raleigh, Memphis, and Nashville. So those are just a few of our areas, but we have identified some houses that we're hoping to close into the Property Coin entity pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that too, because that will be coming up as we release some of these monthly reports.
And yeah, as Andrew mentioned, it's super exciting. If you want to follow us on some of our social media channels, property underscore coin on Instagram, on Telegram, and on Twitter, you can actually see up to date, day by day. Sometimes we'll post pictures of new properties that we bought in the new areas, progress photos as we're rehabbing them. Super exciting stuff, to sometimes even videos of contractors literally at work. So if you're a buyer of Property Coin, if you're an owner of a Property Coin, you can actually see what we're doing, where your money is being invested in, how it's being invested, and the progress and change from a distressed home all the way through to ready to sell.
And Rudy, that's actually a great segue. One of the things we get asked a lot on our social media channels is what makes a good investment property. And I think we've all seen the beautiful HGTV shows about flipping houses, but one of the things that we always like to say is that that looks great, but the beauty is in how you actually do it and how you find them and what makes a good property. So you want to talk a little bit about that and tell people about what you're doing to a house, what makes a good house for flipping. I think people are pretty interested in that.
Sure, that's a great question. We get that a lot. As far as how we find them through different means. What makes a good investable property? A property that has some sort of distress that we can buy it under market value. When I mean some distress, we mean either it's outdated, maybe it needs some of the mechanicals, maybe it just needs a little bit of TLC, which means, we'll go in there, we'll do new flooring, new painting, maybe a new kitchen, add little splashes of color, we'll add little splashes of upgrades here and there, very strategically. We watch our bottom dollar very well, so we try to stick to our budgets and really use our expertise to rehab these houses, not completely per se, but just really know how to use our rehab dollars wisely and pick and choose the areas where we invest those dollars to get the best return out of it. So at the same time, we're providing the new homeowner with an amazing house where everything's functional. We are providing the neighborhood with a beautiful house where it was a rundown house. And for us, we're making sure that it's a profitable trade. For all you Property Coin holders, that's what you want to see. We want to see profitable trades. At the end of the day, that we're making money.
And this isn't something that we're new at either. Rudy's team has flipped over 3,000 properties in their careers, and this is our core business. So we're really excited to let the Property Coin community kind of participate in our success and help us grow our business and the opportunity to invest in other properties.
And that's where the expertise comes in. It's not about just going in and rehabbing the entire property from soup to nuts. I think if you do that, and a lot of novices do that, it's not a profitable trade. And so that's where our expertise comes into play, and that's how we can give Property Coin an edge out there in the market. We know how to rehab, we know where to put the money, and we know how to make a property profitable. At the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. So great point, Matt.
Stay tuned to our social channels. We're going to have some exciting announcements coming up here in the next few days and weeks. We will be out and about in the community. I will be speaking on a panel in Nashville at the end of March about fintech and cryptocurrencies in the traditional banking and mortgage space. So if there's anybody out there who's in that industry and wants to meet up or come and see that talk, please feel free to reach out and we'll set up something. But thanks everybody for your time, and we will have these regular updates on a go-forward basis, and just make sure you tune into all of our social channels. Most of them are property underscore coin, but propertycoin.re is the best place to go in, register, and buy Property Coin. So until next time, thanks everybody, and we will see you again.